Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and I wasn't intending to record another Red Deck video quite so soon, but I got excited about this list for two main reasons. The first one, just the ever simple, oh, it can win some games. That's always nice. The second thing is it's actually an extremely cheap budget deck. There are three rares in it, two Eater of Virtues and one Sokenzan Crucible. So, very, very budget friendly, and I love showing off budget decks when I can. So it's an 18 land hyper aggressive deck, and while these decks are really simple in terms of their core game plan or core concept of just, dump your hand, try to do as much damage as possible, as fast as possible, they do have more nuance than I think a lot of people give them credit for, because if you're just vomiting your hand onto the field, you're going to get like wrathed and lose. You're not going to have a lot of success. You need synergies built into the deck as well as ways to create card advantage without actually running like cards that draw you cards and so on. The big way this deck has to deal with those issues of card quality and card advantage is Sokenzan Smelter. If you pay one and sacrifice an artifact, you can create a 3/1 haste artifact token. This on its own is reasonably good, but you need some kind of things around it to support creating the construct tokens. Iron Apprentice has a very cute synergy with Sokenzan Smelter. You can sacrifice it to the Smelter, and the construct token is created before the Iron Apprentice's effect resolves. So any counters that were on the Apprentice, you can actually put on the construct token you created with the Apprentice. So you can occasionally convert this relatively one drop into a 4/2 haster, which is very solid for a deck that doesn't go above 2 mana. Another important thing we have to feed into Sokenzan Smelter is Dueling Rapier. Now, Dueling Rapier has a very strong synergy with Fireblade Charger. If you play out a Charger and a Rapier in the same turn, it gives it haste and makes it a 3/1 that bolts something for 3 when it dies, which is very useful. But the big problem with running multiple copies of Dueling Rapier is that once they fall off of a creature, they're effectively dead. If you get up to the 4 mana required to re-equip it, you either got really lucky or you're probably about to lose. Now, Sokenzan Smelter can convert dropped rapiers into actual bodies on the field again, and that lets you keep pressing your advantage, keep getting in for more and more damage, which is great. Oh, aside from Sokenzan Smelter, we also have Voltage Surge to do a very similar thing or serve a very similar function. These decks can get stonewalled by cards like Adeline, so having a removal spell in the deck that can go up to 4 damage and clear out big blockers is incredibly useful, and by having things to feed into it like the Iron Apprentice or the Dueling Rapier, it makes your removal way more flexible than you would normally be able to play in a deck like this. Aside from all that stuff, we do have Patchwork Automaton. The deck is very artifact heavy as a whole, so Patchwork Automaton is just a 2-drop we can use that can grow to be enormous and is removal resistant and kind of works with all that entire game plan I've been outlining. To support all of this, we have Reinforced Ronin, which you can occasionally convert into a 3/1 with Sokenzan Smelter, although often you'll just want to keep replaying it to keep growing your Patchwork Automatons. We have Rabbit Battery 2, which can be useful for manipulating creature sizing and creating, unwinnable blocks for your opponent. And yeah, oh, the Eater of Virtues, we're not really using the keyword part of the Eater of Virtue, unfortunately. That gives a 2/0 stat boost to something and can actually be reasonably moved around, unlike Dueling Rapier. Yeah, that about covers the deck. Thank you again for all the support over the past week or so. The channel's grown by like 50 or so subs, which is a lot, so thanks. If you want to keep that support going, or like if you're not subscribed already, you can click buttons and stuff. It does help the channel a lot. That's all the nitty gritty out of the way, so let's get on to some games. Ooh, I'll take this hand. 2 lands, some interaction, a Smelter. Not a bad hand overall. Do the Iron Apprentice on 1, Smelter on 2. Probably like Ronin, pay for Smelter on 3. That's assuming everything goes smoothly, of course. Chip in for damage. Smelter. Red mana. Control deck? Or just a slower red aggro deck? Is it Dragon's deck? Okay. We're not, like, deeply worried about that. It is a little bit annoying in general, but we can work with it. We swing in for 5 this turn, even taking that hit, which is good. And we can keep doing the Ronin thing. If they do an egg, we're a little bit sad. Or like we have to burn the Royal Eruption on the egg so we can keep getting through on the board. But yeah, we're not doing terrible. Egg. Of course they have egg. Keep sending in the Ronin. They might try to do a conservative block here. No, they just care about mitigating damage, which is fair. We're mostly afraid of a Wrath like Draconic Intervention or something like that, which is not a super consistent include in these decks. That or a Cinderclasm. The Iteration. Oh, that's very good for us. Means we get to free hit, basically. I guess they could hit red and do another Dragon's Fire, but yeah, we... Ooh. Or a duel. But we get to kind of free hit. Next, all attacks, 3 attackers, no instant speed removal. Counterspell? Or negate? Oh, there's the negate. Okay. So we get interaction out of them at least. Ronin back to hand. Are we discarding the Ronin for any reason? I don't think so. I think our opponent's trying to figure out if they can not die, which, you know, is fair. The main thing they have to deal with is the 3/1 Iron Apprentice, and it looks like they probably have a Fading Hope or another Dragon's Fire or something like spot removal. Oh, or they could have Prismari Command is bad for us. Yes. Okay. Yeah, real awkward. Definitely just... Ooh, how do we want to do this? Dash. Keep dashing the Ronin. Yeah, we're so close. Top deck Royal Eruption would be nice. Goldspan here is awkward, but not the end of the world. Patchwork Automaton. Okay. Do we want to shove damage through, though? Medium? Like, we can get through a point of damage, but then I think we just do the reinforced Ronin loop for the moment. Grow the Automaton, try to produce lethal, like, next turn, ideally? They are on... Oh. Yeah, multiple blockers, why? Multiple 4/4s? I mean, we can keep doing the Ronin loop at least, which is... Oh, a Smelter. Smelter is kind of good and important. Sorry, Smelter. Kind of working through this as I go. We can also... Sorry, we have... Block. Block. Yeah, they can't survive this, right? If we feed the Dueling Rapier into it. Because 3/3, we connect... If they have a Fading Hope or something, that's the main way they get us, but even then, we still have a lot of stuff. We still have stuff we can do. Oh, we do get them. Ooh. Good game to the opponent. Ooh, very solid hand. Big fan of this whole situation. Fireblade Charger into Patchwork Automaton into all our artifact stuff is pretty good. We're on the play as well, which is handy. We keep getting mono white. Not a fan of this. I'm going to cut probably several mono white matches just because... Yeah, we've been getting it so much. Okay, we just get to eat a Hopeful Initiate. I'll take it. Yeah, we that's one of the things where it's better just as kind of a way to reduce their decision space. Here we just shoot down the Luminarch Aspirant, kind of unfortunately for our shrimpy Automaton. Kind of want another land almost, just because Automaton into like Ronin loops and Apprentice and stuff. Oh, it's Naya humans. I hadn't really noticed. That's rough. Oh, they're going to hit the second Automaton. Oh, okay. I mean, I'll take it. We would like this to survive, I think. Lane and Elena are very bad for us. Adeline is not great, but could be worse. Okay, so we can be a little bit cheeky here. We're going to lose an Automaton, almost certainly. But like, this looks like a free block to them because people will not play around a instant speed artifact. They block the shrimpy one, so we do need to put it on the shrimpy one, unfortunately, so that its power is high enough to take out Adeline. Oh right, she was only 2 power there. I forgot how Adeline works for a second. Sure, take my 1-drop. Ward 2 is great. I love Ward 2. Yeah, here I think we are dashing the Ronin. Something we could do is play out the Fireblade Charger, play out the Dueling Rapier to haste it in. But we can shove a lot of damage here. Sorry, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, we have lethal. Oh. Oh, math is for attackers sometimes. Good game to the opponent. This hand has no creatures, so I think I'm going to mulligan. This is better. What are we dropping? Maybe the Ronin? I like having some interaction. And yeah, I do like having 2 lands, because playing out Smelters, playing out the Patchwork Automatons if you draw them, is fairly important. Also, just using Royal Eruption. Ronin is the kind of most not memey card. Like, if they're on control, it's incredible. If they're not, it gets a little bit patchy. So that's kind of the thought process behind the keep and the bottom there. Get the Rabbit Battery down, chipping in for damage ASAP. Ooh, we are on the play, which is good. Kamano, can we... sure, we can do this, I guess. Like, get the counter on the Sokenzan Smelter just to make our mana a little bit less clunky. They might have a Jukai Naturalist, or like if they play out a Jukai Naturalist, I think I want to shoot it down. Lifelinkers that also act as mana accelerants. Yeah, not a good thing for the opponent to have access to, so a little bit unfortunate we don't get to use the counter here, but we have to slow them down. Keep chipping in for damage. We would like to get the Smelter down. Most of our stuff converts fairly well against Selesnya enchantments. Wedding Announcement can be a little bit clunky. Ooh, okay. So we do get this, which is nice. Sokenzan Smelter. Eat the Iron Apprentice. And put the counter on the 3/1. Swing in with the stuff that doesn't trade with the 1/1 token. Then I think we're eating the Eater of Virtue next turn. Either that or the Rabbit Battery, depending on how feisty I'm feeling. Spirited Companion, sure. Yeah, we want to... we could just stick the Rabbit Battery on something, too. Let's maybe do that, actually. Like that on the Smelter, play out the Eater of Virtue. I think we eat the Eater. Do we want to eat the Eater? Let's put it on the Etching of Kamano, actually, because now they have multiple 4/2s. They can't double block. Or, like, they can't... If they double block one, we're still pushing through a lot of damage, and making the 3/1 construct gives them a more favorable block. So we just want to kind of minimize their ability to productively maintain a board state. Opponent down to 6, which is pretty good. Don't want to celebrate yet, but we're doing good work. One white source, so they can't play out Catilda. Touch the Spirit Realm, sure. Curious to see what they hit here. I think the correct hit's the Sokenzan Smelter, but hitting the Eater of Virtue looks like the thing they're thinking about. I would also not hate just like exiling the 4/2. Yeah, the Smelter is a good hit. So we can move the Eater over to the Rabbit Battery. We're not happy about only drawing lands. You wouldn't know that this is a 18 land deck based on our draws. We're definitely reconfiguring here. And we just need to shove, really. They get the construct here, but we keep Kamano, which is good. I think we keep the Rabbit Battery under Kamano too, and rep like we have. And anything. We're holding up relatively well. No creature from Michikos to fire on, which is good. Oh. I think we get him. Good game to our opponent. Ooh, very reasonable opening hand. I think we want to go Iron Apprentice into Sokenzan Smelter and then kind of Dueling Rapier Reinforced Ronin from there. We'll keep. Even though our curve is extremely low, you don't often want to keep opening hands with one land unless, like, everything is 1 mana. Although it can... Yeah, it's kind of a judgment call. Two lands is ideal, 3 is getting a little bit high. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. I will just Voltage Surge the Luminar Casperine, because, hot take, pretty good card. Submit 0 on the Voltage Surge, dash the Ronin. Pew pew. We might be doing the Sokenzan Smelter Apprentice upgrade next turn. Oh, they're on the Naya Humans build. Okay. Ooh, they steal my Apprentice, which I don't appreciate. It's awful rude of them. I think we just want to Voltage Surge, get our Apprentice back, get a Smelter to work with. Yeah, they might play out like Helena. The first strike on Helena is kind of an issue. Thing we can do, though... Are we holding on to Sokenzan? I feel like no. Sokenzan Crucible of Defiance, Patchwork Automaton. Ooh. Yeah, we need to do some stuff. We need to make some choices. Pay that, sacrifice the Iron Apprentice, put a counter on the Automaton. No attacks because first strike, which is unfortunate, but just do that. For a second I was like, whoa, why didn't I and it's like, no, summoning sick, duh. Oh, Intrepid Adversary, that's not great. 7/5 lifelink. Okay. Well, that is happening. Are we okay with them blocking the Ronin in any capacity? I want to say no. I think our move is... we could convert the Ronin into a 3-1. I think I might take that, actually. Attack with... You? Sure, we need to push damage. Ooh. So they do eat one of the constructs, but we get to take out the Intrepid Adversary, which is relatively important. I maybe should have held one of the voltage surges for Helena and Delena, but we're here now, so... You know, do what we can. Oh, that's rude. Are we just trying to win with the Patchwork Automaton if they're doing this? Maybe. I think so. Or actually, like, we can re-equip the Rapier onto the Fireblade Charger. Attacking with both. If they block the Fireblade Charger, we get to kill Helena. Or, sorry, if they block that. Yeah, like, we get to send that there. They might have a redundant Helena, but if they're burning their turn doing that instead of activating the cave, that's probably okay. Ow. Oh my. Well, that's a thing. Let's get the Iron Apprentice down. Get the other Sokenzan Smelter down, because why not? Auto-pay. Eat the Apprentice or eat the Dueling Rapier? Are we setting up for now or a few turns from now? Their ow hits are like Helena is big one. We don't have a valid attack with... I think we want to convert the Iron Apprentice into a 4-2. Like, that's the big way we do anything. We can attack with the Sokenzan Smelter here, actually. Because, yeah, if they don't do this block, they just take so much damage. So we're doing okay. How okay we actually are does depend on the ow hits. Ooh, they get a Cathar flip, which is, again, rude, but not the end of the world. Skyclave Apparition, sure. Oh, that's worse, actually. They can pay for the ward, which is rough. Well, I think we're just converting the Rapier into a 3-1 and swinging on in with the team. Block. They hold on to the Spirit Token, understandable. We could play out this land, I just want them to, you know, sweat. To live in fear of the card in hand. Oh no, that's not good. We can work through one Helena. Multiple is rough. The thing... We might... If we can hit... Oh, this is pretty bad. Okay. They are hitting all of their exile removal, which is really rough for our entire thing. No blocks. Blocking is for cowards. Oh, Kamano, where were you like a turn or two ago? That would have helped with pushing damage through. Oy. Yeah, we're very dead. Might keep this match in just because I think it's interesting. Like, Naya Humans is very much one of the absolute top decks in the meta. And while we didn't, like, our opponent got lucky and pulled into, you know, 2 Cathars, 2 Apparitions, 2 Helenas, We put up a pretty good fight there. So, yeah, a good game to our opponent. Ooh, we are getting some highly ranked folks today. This hand is quite good if a little bit land heavy, but I'll keep. I know 3 lands being land heavy seems a bit weird, but it's an 18 land deck, so you really want to go for 2. We're almost certainly versus Orzhov tokens. I would feel better about this matchup if like one of these lands was a Dueling Rapier and that had gotten in for 4 damage. As is, not jazzed about that Doomscar. Forgive my computer dying briefly as the saga transforms. I don't really want to play out the Sokenzan Smelter with no artifacts on the field. If we could get a conversion out of it before the Doomscar, I'd be a little more excited. But as is, it's feeling kind of patchy. Oh no, we're flooding. Okay. Try to get Kumano value is about where I'm at. Attacking with the team. Doomscar. The rough. Or at least, yeah, very much operating under the assumption of... Are they one of those people that run Starnheim Unleashed? Or are they just slow rolling it really hard? They might be slow rolling it really hard under the assumption that we have more top end than this. Which, you know, is reasonable. Given how shrimpy our board is, and the fact we have 2 Royal Eruptions in hand, I think we just want to attack here. The Etchings will blank the Eye Twitch's death trigger, and we'll get through for 4 damage. So we can push through 6 damage. We can push through 6 damage. Do we want to slow roll this? Maybe a little bit. They're black-white, so they don't have counter spells. But we do want to exert enough pressure to force the Doomscar, which lets us bolt face. And because the Eye Twitch blanked the learn lesson thing, they don't have... Oh, yes. I love murdering Orzhov tokens so much. Good games to our opponent.